Dan Willis here, and we're talking about Northstar Location Services. Now, this is an independent third-party debt collector, and they're based out of Cheektowaga, New York, and they'll service and collect upon a variety of types of consumer debt, including charge-off accounts, auto deficiencies, financial services, telecommunications, and more. And the first item we need to share is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Fdcpa. This federal legislation was passed by Congress with the intention of regulating the debt collection industry, and it's worth your review at your convenience. In short, it says debt collectors are required to be honest, upfront, not deceptive, along with giving you that modicum of respect and dignity that every human being deserves. And yes, the Fdcpa is broken and violated just about as often as the drug laws in this country. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Now, the next most common concern for folks is, will paying off Northstar collections help and improve your credit score? You'd think so. It certainly makes sense that it would, but as of the end of 2017 and moving forward, no, it won't. You see, the only thing that happens when all you do is just pay off collections is a change in the status of that item. It's changed from an unpaid collection to a paid collection. And a paid collection on your credit report is a negative, damaging, derogatory item that's going to lower your credit score. According to Anthony Sprague, a spokesman for FICO, collections on your credit report can damage and drag your score down by as much as 100 points. You see, the key to fixing your credit is to remove any dings, any blemishes, any negative items on your credit report, because those are the real credit killers. That's what's really dragging down your credit score. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. And that said, for some folks, after first performing the necessary due diligence and the suggestions that we're going to share here in this video and in the next one coming up, so of course subscribe and join our congregation, they may discover that it's in their best interest, in their credit score's best interest, and the most efficient, effective way to get this item off of their credit report is to actually pay it off. But let us first share the debt collection weapons. What can they actually do, Northstar Location Services, to collect this debt? Of course, they're going to start calling. Of course, they're going to send demanding letters, and they're also going to report that negative information on your credit report. In addition to that, it's very likely that they're going to inflate your balance by charging you high interest rates, and believe it or not, they can legally even charge you collection fees. And these aren't just nickel and dime collection fees. These can be very substantial and significant collection fees. And if they're unable to collect payment, they have two options. Either one, they can turn around and sell the rights to your account to yet another debt collector. Of course, this new debt collector is going to start calling you, sending you demanding letters, and they're going to report more negative information on your credit report. Or alternatively, they can sue you, as in file a civil lawsuit against you. Their goal is to win a judgment against you, because then they really got you by the short and curlies. Depending on your state of residence, because every state has unique laws, judgments can potentially result in wage garnishments, liens being placed against you and or your property, and potentially even asset seizure. Not to mention, if you get slapped with a judgment on your credit report, that will absolutely annihilate and obliterate your overall credit score. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Now, the first item here in the first place for all consumers to start dealing with any debt collector is to first request debt validation on your account. This is your right granted by the Fdcpa, and essentially when we request debt validation, what we're saying is, hey, Northstar Location Services, you first prove this is actually my debt, this is legit, show me the original creditor, show me the dates of activity, show me all the relevant details about this debt. After all, we didn't do any business directly with you, Northstar Location Services, so for you to validate the debt, you're just doing your part. You just popped up one day out of the woodwork demanding that we pay you money. We have no idea who you are. So you do your part and validate the debt first, and then potentially we can discuss repayment. You see, they're required to respond by providing you with the paperwork, the documents, and the evidence that does prove this is your debt. If they fail to validate your debt for any reason, even if they just don't have their paperwork in order, then in accordance with the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, you're no longer legally responsible for payment, as in you're no longer legally responsible for payment, as in that debt is forgiven. Further, they're supposed to contact all 3 of the credit bureaus to have them remove that collection listing from your credit report because it's messing up your credit score. If you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. The last item here is the statute of limitations. If your debt is validated, we want to review that paperwork that they send us, because what we're looking for is your last date of account activity. You see, you're not legally responsible for repayment forever. In fact, you're usually responsible for generally about 7 years. The statute of limitations is a state law. It does vary, and that says exactly how long you're legally responsible for repayment. Generally, it's about 7 years. And once this time window runs out and expires, then in accordance with the statute of limitations, your legal obligation to repay that debt has ended. It only lasts as long as the statute of limitations. And that applies to the overwhelming majority of types of consumer debt, from credit cards to charge-off accounts to healthcare to utilities, telecommunications, retail, and many more. The few exceptions that the statute of limitations does not apply to are defaulted federal student loans and federal income tax. Everything else does apply and falls under the statute of limitations. And warning, and a big one, debt collectors are notorious for re-aging consumer accounts, and with obvious purposes, so they can continue to try and collect payment even if your legal obligation has long since ended. Please, debt collectors are fined every single year for illegally re-aging consumer accounts. If you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Again, that's for a free credit consultation, and the toll-free phone number is 1-877-418-7596. This is Dan Willis. We're going to include a link in the description below over to an article on our website for the full story. We also have a free report available there, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. And of course, subscribe and join our congregation, because coming up next, we're going to be talking in detail about how to negotiate a settlement agreement and potentially pay off Northstar location services. And so it will help and improve your credit score. So of course, subscribe and join our congregation. Have a fantastic day, and looking forward to talking to you again here soon.